Tonight on To The Point.
I think the future of downtown is unlimited.
Still faced with less foot traffic than before the pandemic, where does the state of downtown Sacramento stand? And what can you expect to see in the future? Plus, a new affordable housing project catches fire, what it means for construction moving forward, and the latest on the search for survivors after a cargo ship crashes into a Baltimore bridge, the impact this could have nationwide. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us tonight on To The Point. I'm Alex Bell. Downtown Sacramento is moving in the right direction, but more needs to be done. That was the message from city and economic leaders at this morning's State of Downtown event. And Becca Hobegger shows us what they announced and asks if local businesses are seeing improvements.
It's lunchtime here along K Street, and there's much less foot traffic than there would have been at this time before the pandemic, when the Downtown Sacramento Partnership says some 70,000 state workers were in offices here, getting lunch here. Now fewer than a third of those workers have come back to the office. So the Downtown Sacramento Partnership is shifting its strategy.
I think work from home is probably here to stay. We realize that, but what can we do to bring in that critical mass of bodies? It's lean into housing, lean into entertainment, really focus on activations to bring people down to offset that loss. We want to bring some fun and energy back downtown.
Michael Alt is executive director of the Downtown Sacramento Partnership, the organization serving nearly 200 property owners and more than 400 businesses within the city's 66-block downtown core. It hosted Tuesday morning's State of Downtown event, where local leaders outlined upcoming investments and priorities, including Kaiser Permanente's expansive campus planned in the rail yards.
I think the future of downtown is unlimited.
Sacramento Mayor Darrell Steinberg said the land where this parking lot sits at 15th and K Streets is leased and set to become a 350-room, 28-story Hilton hotel across from the convention center.
We'll bring that to the city council this summer. We have the money now to invest in modernizing the old Sacramento waterfront.
He says the city has $100 million in hotel tax funds that, by code, have to be used for projects promoting economic development, tourism, or otherwise bolster the local economy. He plans on proposing council approve $40 million of that to modernize the old Sacramento waterfront and use some of the funds on the hotel project.
I'd like to see them spend a little bit more on K Street, too.
Ross Rojic co-owns Capital Books on K Street and There and Back Cafe on Cathedral Square.
Cathedral Square is considered a park, but it looks like a parking lot and people treat it as a parking lot. And they've done some really good work at Cesar Chavez recently. They put out new chairs and tables. People are going there and hanging out during lunch because it's a nice environment. This could be the same thing. Yosefi Square, same thing. Those just need places for people to sit. They need some shade.
I spoke with him after last year's State of Downtown, and I wanted to know, after another year of recovery and progress following the pandemic, how is he feeling about the state of downtown now?
I'm still optimistic about downtown. We're definitely seeing a big uptick just in foot traffic. The conventions are getting bigger. The cafe is getting busier. I mean, there's definitely more tourists here. There's definitely more people coming in and out the Capitol.
He's encouraged by the new housing and wants more, plus retail and a grocery store.
And Steinberg says the city is still fighting for a Major League Soccer team. He's confident the city will have a major investor to build a professional soccer stadium in the rail yards before the end of the year. And then take a look at this. This is Sacramento's city council meeting. Just moments ago, council members passed a resolution to appoint an interim council member for District 2 seat, and that seat was vacated by former council member Sean Laloe. Sean Tao will fill the seat until December, when the winner of November's election is sworn in. And Tao grew up in North Sacramento, is a UC Davis graduate, and he's part of the Hmong community. He is also an executive director for the nonprofit Hmong Youth and Parents Unlimited. And City Council is also expected to take up a resolution declaring the city of Sacramento a sanctuary city for transgender people. And the decision is causing some upset from groups around our area. So ABC 10's Luke Cleary is live tonight from City Hall with more details tonight. Luke, what can you tell us?
Hey, Alex. Yeah, we saw some heated arguments between both supporters and opponents of this resolution here outside of City Hall just over an hour ago. It's quiet here now as they've made their way into City Hall. Now, this resolution was introduced by District 4 Council member Katie Valenzuela, who acknowledges in the proposal that California is really kind of leading the way when it comes to transgender rights. But given the national climate around the country and the concern that some states could pass legislation criminalizing gender-affirming care. This is really kind of a preemptive move. Let's go ahead and show you just how heated things got, though, here outside of City Hall. We have some video from earlier this afternoon. We saw members of those two groups really kind of going at it and arguing with one another. On the conservative side, maybe a half dozen or so activists associated with Moms for Liberty group coming together with the PFLAG and other LGBTQ groups, really kind of airing out their differences with one another ahead of this resolution being considered by City Council here tonight. Now, if you bring it back out here to me live, what this resolution would do is to help set Sacramento as a sanctuary city for transgender people, much the same way as it is a sanctuary city now for immigrants. If other jurisdictions, if other states pass laws criminalizing gender-affirming care, then what this resolution sets out to do is that the city will spend no money, none of its budget, no resources, including staff time, helping to enforce those laws from other states and jurisdictions. So we saw dozens of people make their way into council chambers earlier this evening. We'll go ahead and join them and see how things progress and continue to cover this later into the night. Alex, back to you.
All right, Luke, thank you so much for the update. And just within the last hour, District 4 Council member Katie Valenzuela conceded her re-election. She posted on X that she called Phil Pluckybaum to congratulate him, saying the latest vote totals reveal she does not have a path to victory. And then take a look at this. A fire burned a 5-story building under construction in downtown Sacramento. At one point, the fire was so big, about 100 firefighters were trying to put it out. And the building off of Broadway and 19th Street was set to become the new site of 140 affordable housing units. Our Roxanne Elias has more tonight and the concerns from neighbors in the area.
The sound of intense flames woke up people who live off Broadway in Sacramento around 1 a.m. Tuesday.
It's like crackling, but whooshing kind of. And I looked out my window and I saw the fire and I was like, oh no.
Neighbors say it was concerning to see the building, which was meant for future affordable housing, engulfed by fire. It was so hot, it melted a nearby trash can and railroad light fixtures.
I have a family of 5 that lives here, and to have a major construction project engulf in flames right across the street was very alarming.
We were here back in August when Sacramento City, county officials, and the housing nonprofit EAH Housing broke ground on the 140-unit affordable housing complex. Sacramento Mayor Darrell Steinberg said Tuesday, On Broadway is a vital project that will bring badly needed affordable housing and increased economic vitality to the Broadway corridor. We're disappointed it will be delayed, but so grateful for the tireless efforts of our firefighters who worked into the early hours this morning and saved half of the project along Broadway. The mayor's office is in talks with EAH Housing and is offering them support. A statement they sent us says, while a significant portion of the property was impacted, we remain committed to this community and our mission of delivering 140 much-needed accessible and affordable homes. We will begin the cleanup process and restart construction as soon as possible. The Sacramento Fire Department says the cause of the fire is under investigation.
There are cameras on site, so our investigators will request that footage. It's going to take them quite some time to go through all of that footage, but hopefully that will give us some type of lead on which direction this is going to go.
Man, thank you to our firefighters. What a devastation. And the neighbors that we spoke to, they say that they support the construction. They are hoping the owners will rebuild soon and have it up and running because they say it is much needed in our city. And then out in Placer County, 1 teen is dead and 4 others are hurt after a crash this morning. And CHP says it happened just after 1 on Forest Hill Road near Mayflower Road. Officers say the 16-year-old driver missed a curve and crashed into a tree, and the cause is still under investigation. But CHP says alcohol may have been a factor. Next, on To the Point, the latest update on search and recovery efforts for 6 people unaccounted for after a major bridge collapse in Baltimore.
The next storm system set to arrive in a matter of hours. The impacts it could have into your Easter weekend.
Plus, reaction from the Supreme Court after hearing arguments in the battle over the abortion pill. And later in the show, if you haven't filed your taxes yet, scammers may be trying to take advantage of you. How you can protect yourself. Well, I hope you got to enjoy the sunshine today because rain is in the forecast. It's coming. Let's bring in meteorologist Carly Gomez. Take a look at what's ahead, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know. Everyone got used to some of that sunshine, and it was nice for a little while. But you know what? We're going to be doing a back and forth kind of a trip for ourselves in the next few weeks. We are looking at some rain coming in for tomorrow. Winter weather is returning as well for this year with some more snowfall. On and off showers through the weekend. So what we can expect is, yeah, you're going to get some showers on and off in the day. And then it's almost every other day you see some showers as well. But sunshine and warmer temperatures are returning next week. So if you loved those 70s, they're coming back. All right, a winter storm warning will take effect tomorrow at 11 a.m. lasting until Thursday, 11 a.m. It's about a 24-hour period here of heavy snowfall, mostly above 5,500 feet. It could drop as low as 3,500 feet into Thursday morning, but at that point in time, I don't see a lot of moisture left over. Gusts around 45 miles per hour. And then in that kind of bluish shade there, the Tahoe Basin seeing a winter weather advisory with about 6 to 10 inches around these communities here. But the gusts could get as high as 90 miles per hour at the ridges, and that blowing snow in the communities could create low visibility. So please be careful with the slick roads out there as well. Future wind gusts will be up to about 25 miles per hour in the valley into your Wednesday night. And then again on Thursday in the evening hours for your commute home, looking at about 15 to 25 mile per hour gusts. Finally, as we move into Saturday, we'll start to see some shifts and changes as well, with our Futurecast radar showing the earliest snowfall by around lunchtime, and then the heavy downpours coming into your evening and overnight hours with more snowfall into Thursday morning. By Thursday, though, expect to actually see partly sunny skies for most of the day. You may get one little quick drop here and there, but otherwise, expect Thursday to be partly sunny. By Friday, you're looking at lunchtime, getting the clouds rolling in, and that rain is just offshore. Friday night to Saturday, more showers. We could see as much all the way through Sunday as maybe a half inch to an inch of rain through those valley spots. And then snowfall, we're looking at anywhere from up to about 15 inches to 24 inches possible as we get into a 24-hour period, but primarily right around 15 inches. Then moving into Sunday, a total of up to 37 inches, so 2 to maybe 3 feet of snow is possible from Wednesday to Sunday. And then we're seeing similar totals there with the European model. Temperatures for tomorrow right around those low 60s. The 10-day forecast showing low 60s and upper 50s for the next few days. Sunday, Easter, you're looking at 66 degrees.
All right, Carly, thank you so much. Next, on to the point, the latest on the Baltimore bridge collapse, where rescue efforts stand, plus the impact that this could have nationwide. And scammers could be trying to take advantage of you when you file your taxes. Our Verified team looks into how you can protect yourself. Tonight, more than 18 hours after a bridge collapsed in Baltimore, crews are suspending search and rescue operations for workers who were on the bridge. At least 8 workers were on the bridge filling potholes when it collapsed, and 2 of the workers were rescued. 1 went to the hospital, and as of 7:30 Eastern, 6 workers remain missing. And here's what we know so far about what led up to the crash. The Associated Press says that the Dolly cargo ship left the port of Baltimore around 12:45 a.m. Eastern time. And just minutes before the ship loses power, they actually sent a mayday call. And then we know at 1:28 a.m. Eastern time, that is when the cargo ship had actually hit the bridge. So we have Christine Cadero, who is joining us tonight with more details about this.
Tonight, the U.S. Coast Guard has suspended its rescue efforts 18 hours after the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse, saying time and weather conditions have pushed search crews into a new phase.
At this point, we do not believe that we're going to find any of these individuals still alive.
We're going to send all the federal resources they need as we respond to this emergency.
It was around 1:30 this morning that Maryland officials say a container ship lost propulsion as it was leaving Baltimore and crashed into the bridge. Video shows the ship hitting a support column. The lights go out as the entire span collapses. Seconds before impact, that same footage appears to show vehicles crossing.
We're going to be working closely with the National Transportation Safety Board as they lead their independent investigation, and with the Coast Guard as they continue operations in the water.
The pilots reportedly warned the Maryland Department of Transportation that vessel could crash before it made impact. Maryland officials say the pilot's mayday call prompted the bridge to shut down to traffic, potentially saving lives. No drivers were traveling on the span at the time, but there were construction vehicles and workers on it.
The crew that was out there working was basically repairing potholes so you understand that had nothing to do with a structural issue.
The I-695 span is a heavily traveled corridor with an estimated 30,000 vehicles crossing it each day. About 30 million tons of cargo passed through the bridge last year. It's the entryway to the largest port in the U.S. for cars and light trucks and one of America's largest hubs for coal shipments.
It's one of the most important elements for the economy in the Northeast. I've directed my team to move heaven and earth to reopen the port and rebuild the bridge as soon as humanly possible.
Just absolutely devastating. Of course, our thoughts and prayers are with those families. And authorities say there is no credible evidence that the incident was terror related. A lot of questions still remain tonight about the impact that this could also have. The head of a supply chain management company tells AP that Americans should expect shortages of goods as the Baltimore bridge collapse affects ocean container shipping and East Coast trucking logistics. All right, in other news tonight, hundreds of demonstrators on both sides of the abortion right issue rallied outside of the Supreme Court today. It comes as the justices started hearing arguments that could have wide-ranging effects on access to the abortion pill mifepristone. In 90 minutes of arguing, the justices appeared likely to preserve access to the drug, with even conservative justices voicing skepticism over the lawsuit's scope.
In this case, seems like a prime example of turning what could be a small lawsuit into a nationwide legislative assembly on an FDA rule or any other federal government action.
The case comes after the Food and Drug Administration was sued by Alliance for Hippocratic Medicine, an anti-abortion rights group accusing them of unlawfully easing restrictions. And the FDA says mifepristone is safe when used and indicated and directed. They approved the drug nearly 25 years ago, then years later made regulatory changes allowing it to be used up to 10 weeks of pregnancy instead of 7, and allowing it to be prescribed by mail. The decision from the Supreme Court is expected by the end of June. Let's get into your price points tonight, because fast food workers in California can expect to receive a pay increase next week. Wages are expected to go up to $20 an hour. That is a 25% increase from California's current $16 minimum wage that took effect on January 1st. And this new law will impact more than 500,000 fast food workers in the Golden State. Supporters say it's a step in the right direction, but critics say it might hurt businesses and cause them to increase prices. And then you know what's right around the corner, tax day. It's just on April 15th, just 3 weeks away. So if you haven't filed your taxes yet, you might be feeling a little anxious to get them done, I guess. And scammers, they know that and they want to take advantage of it. One of them actually tried to target our Verify team in D.C. So tonight, Simone de Alba shows their latest scheme and how you can protect yourself.
Hello, it's Bill at the tax group calling about your previous year's filings. Looks like you might be one of the people that still has some past taxes due.
That's the voicemail one of our producers got this week. To show that this is a scam, we checked with the Better Business Bureau, the tax group in Redding, California, and Mark Stieber, Chief Tax Information Officer with Jackson Hewitt. On its Facebook page, the tax group posted in January that it was aware of people being scammed by someone pretending to be with the company. The Better Business Bureau also has a scam alert on the tax group's page on its website. Mark Stieber with Jackson Hewitt says it's not possible for a tax preparer to know your filing history without your approval.
A registered tax pro will have an online account. You'll have to give them permission with one of 2 or 3 different forms that they can file electronically, and get permission to access your account and help you.
Stieber also told us if you get a text, call, email, or letter that seems suspicious, you can take it to a reputable tax preparer and they'll quickly let you know if it's authentic or a scam. With your Verify, I'm Simone de Alba.
Don't get me started on the scammers. It really frustrates me. But we do have some more information for you, because as tax day approaches, you could be part of the more than 900,000 people with unclaimed tax money. The IRS is warning taxpayers that they may be leaving more than $1 billion on the table. And the federal tax collector says you have until May 17th to submit tax returns for unclaimed refunds for tax year 2020. The IRS says more than 88,000 people in California could be eligible for these refunds, and the average median refund is $932 for 2020. Not bad money right there. All right, next on To the Point. Concerning new data shows cancer patients are getting younger. The new warning from doctors. Right now, doctors across the U.S. and around the globe have noticed a concerning new trend. Cancer patients are getting younger. So coming up tomorrow on To The Point, new data is signaling concerns for those under 50. And now doctors are desperate to find answers and figure out what's making more young adults sick.
There was actually a study that was published in the British Medical Journal last year that said that the rates of cancers have gone up by almost 80% in people 14 to 49. And that was from 1990 to 2019. And that's really scary.
So tomorrow, right here at 6:30 on To The Point, hear from a California doctor about why they think this increase is happening and what can be done to help prevent it. And that is our show tonight. Thank you so much for watching and inviting us into your home. We love telling your stories. We love getting to meet you. So if you have something that you think we should be looking into, make sure you reach out to me and the team. Remember, strangers are people we just haven't gotten to know yet. So take the time to get to know someone. Have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow. Hey, it's Alex. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. The To The Point team and I love hearing from you, and I hope that you'll stay in touch. And don't forget, you can always email me and the team at tothepoint@abc10.com, or you can even send us a text message at 916-321-3310.